Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Boca Tech Talk Season 1 wrap-up. So what you're seeing on your screen now is an infographic that we developed showing the various home technologies. And when I hit the next slide here, these are the 15 webinars that we had in Season 1 that we'll be covering today. And we went around a good portion of these technologies, some of them in more detail than others. But we talked about everything from outdoor technologies, motorized pergolas, and outdoor technologies such as video surveillance, TVs, things like that, and all the way back to the inside, which was proper planning for infrastructure, whole house audio, distributed video, rather, secure networking. We did voice and video over IP for the perfect home office. We talked about sound isolation in media rooms, motorized window coverings, climate control, and various other technologies. The instructors that we have online today and what they talked about is shown on the screen now. We had Michelle, and she talked about a lot of various things, but focusing on residential technology and solutions that for more home automation related things. Deb from Orion was the Living in the Material World. It's kind of a strange title, but those are the fabrics for the automated shading, which is very, very informative. A lot goes into the choices for the fabric type, not just color and style, but what they do and how they perform. And then Joseph, who runs the Crestron Design Center in Dakota, talked about motorized shading solutions. Jason from LK is a key speaker. He's talked multiple times and really focuses in on big picture technologies as well as individual products that focus on the dedicated theater, residential electronics, and so forth. Blake from Lutron also was sort of co-hosting with Deb on the smart home and materials for motorized shading. Vanessa did the effective sound isolation, which was very well attended. And I think a lot of people followed up wanting to know about that. And then the two at the bottom are the first two that we did: the ultra short throw, which is the 120-inch projection system that shines up onto the wall. We did a seminar on that, and then we did one for the perfect home office, and in the lower right there. So with that as the backdrop, I'll just get right into it. We're going to do 5 minutes per presenter, and one of the themes are the various technologies that resonate at a personal level with the presenters, and some of them will talk about their experience as it relates to their home life and which technologies were most useful to them as a parent or a working person from home during COVID, and how it just sort of blended into the overall technology footprint that we've been presenting during Season 1. So with that, Michelle, I'd like to turn it over to you. And when you're ready for the next slide, you just go ahead and prompt me, but if I'm not moving quick enough, okay? Take it away, Michelle.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about all of our companies. I'm in great company here today with all of the other wonderful vendors that are on the call, and this has been a series that I've been, very excited to participate in, and Crestron is also, very excited to continue to educate the design build community, because that's, really what it's all about. Is during these times and even beyond this, is becoming a source of knowledge for all of you, and being able to work hand in hand on these Boca Tech Talks has just been a great experience so far. So jumping into my favorite technology that I wanted to share with all of you today, Jeff, if you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Crestron Home, which we're referring to as that's powered by OS3. And Crestron Home is a solution. Jeff, if you just want to click through, my points will pop up on this slide. It's animated. There you go. Yep. Perfect. So Crestron Home is something that has been in development for Crestron for quite some time. And it really is our next major operating system evolution. And Crestron, if you have experience with us in the past, we're an amazing system because really it's something that can be completely customized and really has only been limited, to the client's imagination and to the skill level of a custom programmer in the past. And we really relied on that custom programming piece to have successful systems. And those that had, a great programmed system had wonderful experiences with Crestron. And those, unfortunately, that wasn't programmed well didn't always have the best experience. So Crestron as a brand, as a manufacturer, really wanted to develop this great Crestron Home platform to be able to provide a solution for our customers, not only for our end user clients, but also for our dealers and for the design build community, to have a completely redesigned user interface that doesn't require any type of custom programming at all. So it's just a simple configuration of the system. And it is an app-based system. Jeff, if you can just click through, please, to just get the points up. The user interface, it was really developed in a way to be very intuitive and simple to use. That was really the key to having this successful product. We wanted it to be something that was room-centric, where a client could see all of the rooms in their home and simply be able to dive into each room and to really be able to see everything that's happening. This Crestron Home platform integrates a full end-to-end technology solution. So everything from lighting control to motorized shades, audio, video, security, surveillance, HVAC control. And it really allows a very, very simple way to control the home. It works on all different types of devices, both on our touchscreens like you see pictured here, and also in our mobile app, which is completely free of charge. And you can actually download the mobile app and have a nice little demo and give it a nice test drive to be able to see it for yourself right in your hand. So now I have a little video to share with you that just kind of goes through what it's like to be able to have a Crestron Home system. So this is a nice view of the app, the way that it functions here. Again, it's very simple, clean, and you can easily access your scenes. So by hitting one button of good morning, it can cause all of the shades to open up. It can automatically adjust the thermostat. And then, for other things that the clients might like to do in the home, like watch TV, you can have all of your favorites customized to the user in the home. It also allows, the entire family to be able to have their own user interface access so that everything is completely customized to what they like to do in the space, whether it's gaming, entertaining, like you see here, watching a favorite movie, but it's really designed to enhance lifestyle and to be simple. Again, just a push of a button or even a voice command, and having all of the technology in the space to deliver a very simple user interface experience and just enhance that lifestyle. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Joseph and let him talk a little bit about some of the resources that we have for all of you locally. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle, and great to be here with such a great group. It's such a pleasure to be invited to speak amongst everyone here and share some of my knowledge here that I've been blessed with, which is running the Design Center of America's design showroom for Crestron. And it's been a great privilege. So basically what we do here in this showroom, it's pretty much open to the public. It's open to our dealer partners, and it's open to our design build community. And what this center does pretty much is give you the opportunity for someone to come in and experience all of the smart home solutions that are actually available to you, and actually see live what that can actually do for you in an actual home or in your actual office or wherever it is that you're looking to actually do this. We also do marine business here in the area because we are in the South Florida market, and that's a big market for us. So this is one of 5 showrooms that we actually have here, and to me, I like to say that we're the greatest, and it just really stands out, as you can see by the picture on there. It is state of the art. It is ever growing. We're constantly adding new stuff to it. We've just added home time. We also have in here the Crestron home demo also that we are letting our clients and partners experience. So basically with here, you can experience the lighting control, our motorized shades. We just added a great new department on that where you can actually see installations, different type of fabric finishes and all. We also have our Hartman and Forbes line in that, which is a beautiful, beautiful line for our design partners. It's definitely on the high end and made custom for each individual application. Of course, the home audio, we have the home theater and distribution also. And of course, we show all different types of touch screens and touch pads, including our latest Elegance that we just added to that, as well as some third party that we also carry. So we do have it all here to share. And we're open now. We're open by appointment. And again, I'm very happy to very happy to host anyone here. Just a matter of reaching out. And again, for the Crestron home, as Michelle mentioned, it's a beautiful, beautiful product. And I'm very happy to really to have that here and be able to go ahead and demo that for everyone. So feel free to reach out. And thank you so much.
All right, very good. Next up, we've got Blake Willis from Lutron. Go ahead, Blake.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. You know, it really is great to be on a panel like this surrounded by some of the best experts in South Florida. So it really is good to be here, and thanks for the invite. You can go ahead. So Jeff and Marcio asked me to share about my favorite pieces of technology and really how their use has increased post-pandemic for myself and for any customers who use them. So I'd like to introduce you to Lutron's Ketra, which is really the next generation of illumination for the residential lighting world. Go ahead. So what is Ketra? Ketra offers a full product wireless dynamic lighting for the residential space. With retrofit option, we really can truly integrate this into any existing home as well as new construction home. So you'll see here I have a D3 downlight, D4R. This is for retrofit applications. We have a screw-in lamp, the A20, as well as our G2 linear for any cove applications or potentially uplighting or downlighting. Go ahead. So now more than ever, we're spending time in our homes. Good reactive control of our lighting is going to be really imperative to providing our clients a satisfying place to live, work, as well as now entertaining, really more than ever in the home. Ketra's HD palette, you'll see on the bottom left, provides us with 16.7 million colors, as well as a CCT range of 1400 to 10,000 Kelvin. So this is going to allow our homeowners to repurpose their homes for events and gatherings. We all know home weddings are on trend right now, as well as your office space. So next, I'll talk a little bit about natural lighting, really bringing natural light into the home. It's been a huge trend as homeowners are more focused on wellness during this time. So really, light in nature is a fluid presence in our lives. Sunshine, firelight, the soft beam of the moon. The right light can really captivate us, fascinate us, and take control of our emotions. So imagine a bright white light over your desk, like a shot of espresso as you finish up your emails in the afternoon. And the convenience of that same light source providing a warm, dim light as you relax and read a book in your office to unwind from the day. Really giving you complete control over the lighting in your home. Historically, indoor lighting has never been able to produce these real enchanting qualities of light. However, Ketra is going to precisely mimic the color temperature and intensity of natural light coming from the outside, dynamically and imperceptibly shifting those throughout the day. So really changing the light inside your space without you even noticing. So for the first time ever, Ketra is bringing the dynamic power of natural light to the indoors. And we should be offering to all of our homeowners and clients who are really focusing on wellness and technology advancements in the home this time post-pandemic.
Great.
That's it. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. And just FYI, we did the Ketra demo here at the last technology expo that we had in October of 2019, when this technology was just being introduced to us. And what Deb did the demonstration. Her mother is an artist, and what she did is set up some of these lights in a darkened conference room and showed what the right light did to light up a painting and fruit and other natural things that we all know what an apple looks like, for example. And as you change the light, you can look at something that made it look more plastic or look like something you want to pick up and eat. Same thing happened with the artwork. It came to life, or it kind of looked dull. And it's really fascinating to look at what the different color temperatures actually mean, and how the color is not the same throughout the day, but we don't really even register to us. So it was a very big learning experience for me personally, to just kind of look at that and understand the life cycle of lighting throughout the day and how it affects the mood and the environment surrounding us. So with that, Deb, let me hand that over to you, Deb.
Thanks so much, Jeff and Marcio and team. I've really enjoyed listening to you all, and it really does bring us to the point where we're talking about how home tech has really helped us survive and thrive in this pandemic. Because, if this had happened 15 years ago, I think about where I was in life. And we certainly had a computer, we had Wi-Fi, but we certainly didn't have a lot of the apps. I certainly didn't have the Home Connect, the smart home technology that we have now. So what I wanted to bring to the panel today is to talk about how we are now completely connected virtually, and it's helped us keep our jobs going, keep school or learning going, whether it's professionally or for our children, and it's helped us connect. I don't know about you guys, but my family, I have some locally and I have some far away, but to keep connected, we did things like have Zoom meetings over dinners, and ways of keeping community going, like having happy hours with our builder groups. One of the things that I wanted to mention is smart homes and smart technology in homes. It actually helps homes sell faster. And I've been working with builders for a few years now, whether they're production builders or custom builders, but they're really hearing the luxury home market and all of their customers say, we want a house with Wi-Fi and smart technology built in. We want it when we move in. We don't want this to be an aftermarket thing. So one of the things that people are asking for are workspaces and home technology already built in, like dimmers, switches, lighting technology. They want strong Wi-Fi. They want a great network. And even simple things like no-touch sensors. Thanks for hitting that slide. So we have now, maybe you build in a no-touch sensor in your laundry room, so you don't, while you're carrying all that laundry and maybe soap, you don't have to touch a light switch. It just comes on automatically. I know I've been really appreciating that lately. And no-touch sensors even on things like garbage cans to keep the germs down from this pandemic. I've been spraying every switch that's not auto, either by voice or by scene. I've been spraying everything down to keep those germs down. But with voice control and with scene control, you can, or automatic sensors, you don't have to worry about that. The other thing a lot of our integrators are finding is that we now have cameras that actually measure temperature, and they're using them whether they're in homes or in businesses. They have the automatic hand sanitizer dispenser. And these are things that builders and homeowners are looking at putting in their own homes to keep them safe in the future. This pandemic may be over soon, but what happens later? So one of the things I wanted to close this with is talking about voice control and keypad scenes, and how integrating that into your home, whether through Josh, Alexa, Google, Siri, bringing that voice control so that you have, whether it's lighting control, shades, audio, video, you can control this all now by your voice. And what it helps us do is have everybody has the same ability, whether it's your children or yourself or your spouse, even guests can now talk to a voice command controller and say, let's set the scene to morning, or it's time for homework, or hey Josh, turn on the dinner scene. And you're using the same workspace maybe from morning and mom's got a webinar to the afternoon the kids are doing their schoolwork virtually, and then in the evening you're using it for dinner or entertaining in the family perhaps. But I just wanted to close and say I'm really grateful for the technology that has been brought into my life, because it really did help me thrive, keep the business going, and thanks again for the opportunity to talk about it.
Thanks, Deb. I appreciate your insights on that. That Josh that she mentioned is a new AI platform that's coming out that we're all learning about. It's along the lines of some of these other assistants, Alexa, Google, Siri, but it's really more focused at controlling the home as opposed to being a personal assistant. So probably hear more from us on that topic in some of our future seminars. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jason. Take it away.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Much like everyone else, I really enjoyed being a part of these series. I remember when you and Marcio and I first talked about it, this was supposed to be like an in-person event right at the start of the pandemic. So it's pretty awesome to see our industry come together with all these great professionals and colleagues here that are panelists to contribute just to help educate other trades. I know it's been hard struggling from home. We're all used to be traveling and meeting with people to help grow our businesses, but it's awesome to see everybody just giving up their time to help others. And for me, educating the design build community is so important because we want to ensure that our customers are aware of the technology and solutions that we have, and that we can make sure we meet and exceed the expectations on the projects. And we're usually brought in so late in the project. And to me, that's really what this is about. You know, each of us talked about some really great technologies, and that original slide you showed with all the stars highlighted how much is available. But all of it has to require proper planning. And so hopefully those that have attended this know to reach out to the team at Boca Theater, engage us if we need to be helpful. And that's really the core of what we're learning. Now, going on to the pandemic, for me, my favorite technology that we've used at our house has been distributed music. And, you know, having music throughout the house has been great with balancing stress levels. It energizes us, keeps our moods in check. I mean, I've worked from home for over a decade. And when I first started working from home, it was work from home for a few days and then travel. And of course, since March, it's like 95% I'm working from home. So back then, you know, if I'm working in one of the rooms of my house and there's a TV on, I turn it on, right? I think we're all guilty of that. We don't want to have a black screen. We just turn it on for background noise. But it's very distracting, especially when like FX runs those like marathon movie shows, right? So people think of distributed music as like Bluetooth speakers or products like Sonos, which are all great, but that's just playing music everywhere. And typically when we enjoy music, because we are working from during the day and we're not at home, it's when we're cooking or entertaining. And so using music during the day when you're working from home is much different. Our house is powered by Savant music. And that means a few different things. You know, we have 12 zones of music in our house. That does not mean we have a 12-bedroom house, right? We just have 12 areas we can listen to music. So that's, you know, that's bathrooms. There's a couple places outside, different rooms throughout the house. But we also have different streamers. And so instead of just having the same thing throughout the house, my wife in her office can have her favorite playlist on at her favorite volume level. I can have my favorite playlist on at my volume level. And then we have a third music streamer that plays throughout the house in areas like bathrooms and kitchens. So as we're, taking a break from the day and getting lunch or a snack or using the bathroom, we have other music distributed. And that really creates a different tone when you're trying to work from home, and sets the moods. If we were all in our office at work, we'd all be fighting over the same station, right? And so now we're able to have different stuff. So the other thing too is we have Powered by Savant, which means, my wife and I both start at the same time each day, but our offices come on automatically to the right music station at the right volume, and then it can shift throughout the day. So in the morning, I can start out with some real light jazz music to get my day going, but that mid-afternoon, when I need that, that jolt of energy, I can kick it over to some different music, and then I can change it at the end of the day. So that to me has really been kind of the great savior through this pandemic.
You say there's no shame in having 12 zones of audio, Jason. You don't have to apologize for that. I'm guilty. I've probably got a couple more than that. But one thing I'd say is that with all of the new music coming out from the artists that are trapped and not doing, tours or whatnot, I've really enjoyed the fact that we've got brand new studio albums that have come out even in the last month. I am not a Swiftie by any stretch of the imagination, but I actually bought that last album and it's very, very, very good. I've listened to that. The new Alanis Morissette came out, which I've been a fan for 100 years on that one. But I've created a brand new playlist that really started during this entire thing. I've got, high resolution music in my office and it's on all the time. I like to be able to control it from my keyboard so I can pause it during a meeting or, raise and lower the volume without, really having to do too much because all the controllers are now embedded into an app on the PC or phone or whatever. But I'm with you on this. I probably have listened to more music in the last 6 months than I had in the previous year, just in terms of having it and having it in the room that I'm in all the time.
Yep.
So thank you for your insights there, Jason. And I'll move on to Vanessa. Go ahead, Vanessa.
Hi, good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everybody. So excited to be here with the panelists. We become really close to some of you, and it's really nice to bring this community together. Thank you, Jeff and Marcio, for pulling that. You guys have done an amazing job. Thank you for all the attendees. I see some of your names, and I know you guys have been in some of my classes, and I've seen you in some other classes. So thanks for the support. Again, like Jason and the rest of the panelists emphasize, I think it's great to work together with you and make our CEDIA industry wider and bring that level of knowledge to everybody else so we can all collaborate and work together. So thanks again for having me. When Jeff and Marcio and I started discussing like the topic of this panel, I was like, like one of the things that I enjoy is music, like Jason touched, or our outdoor system in outdoor TVs and being able to stream outside. But then I started like thinking even further as to what that truly meant to me. And I was like, but has that really saved me during this time of the pandemic? And I don't want to sound like a novel type of theme, but I guess the part that saved me and my theme on this would be the enterprise great network that kept our new normal working seamlessly. Having said that, neither of my streaming products would have worked properly, or working from home productively would have worked properly if we didn't have the proper backbone in our house. And with the COVID-19 outbreak and the shelter-in-place orders, it led to the rise of remote work and remote school and entertainment for thousands of people across the country. And it caused a huge raise or surge of internet demand. For instance, in our home, it went from having my husband working, in the office from time to time, me working remotely, our daughter going to school, then all of a sudden, all of us were working from home and going to school from home. It went from having just maybe a few devices to having myself alone, having two, a laptop and a desktop device, my cell phone now constantly connected, my voice over IP phone that I got transferred here from working from home, and our 11-year-old daughter having a full-time schedule on virtual classes. There were times that I would walk by her room, and you had a picture there earlier, Jeff, and that was my view of her room, and she would be like just making all kinds of noises, and she was just in PE class. So it was kind of like neat to see that all this happened. Also, not to mention that our subscriptions highly increased, and I'm sure you guys, subscribe to a lot of other providers. Disney Plus, anybody, Hamilton, like watching it over and over again in our household. So yeah, it went from us being like an outdoor type of person. We started to bring all this fun in home and make it more interactive, right? So what happened was that we started like noticing that all this fun was bringing a big load on our network. And we had a residential great network system in our house, but it was just not keeping up with everything happening, with all the devices, with all the streaming, all the different subscriptions. So we, decided, I think it was one day, both my husband and I were in separate webinars, our daughter was in class, and at one point, all of us were kicked out. We were not at that point. And then we decided to move forward to an enterprise great network. So, and that has brought the reliability and security, and of course, the great performance in all devices at all times. So what can we say? Times have changed. We are not longer working in a household that had just one computer, maybe a desktop and a connected printer. Now we're looking into like multiple devices, smartphones, smart watches, Debbie touched on all the amazing technologies that we have, like sensors and voice over IP. Like everything is now it's sucking into that new technology, and times definitely have changed. And that means that the Wi-Fi and the local networks within the homes have become substantially more robust, and they're demanding more. So with that being said, I think little by little, consumers have moved to a better and more robust network. However, their experiences have gone south the way ours were going earlier in the year. Why is that? And I guess that taste in their mouth comes as a consequence of unmatched technologies. So we have all this internet service providers offering gigabyte speed service. And we have this residential grade devices on our network that are not capable of handling that speed. Not only the speed, but also residential grade networking gear cannot handle the amount of devices and traffic that we are putting in our homes now. So this is where enterprise grade networking comes in place, because it has been in place for many, many years in businesses. And a lot of our integrators like Boca Tech Automation has been using it and implementing them in homes, because again, they're more reliable, they're scalable, they're robust, and they're secure. And so they were foreseeing all this happening at one point. And guess what? Now with the pandemic, it came all at once. So really quick, what are the benefits of this enterprise grade networking? So we have the extended Wi-Fi range and bandwidths. Now, if you want to be outside, you can actually be able to be on the Wi-Fi connection and be able to be connected at all times. And of course, the scalability to grow. We know that in the past 10 years, having a refrigerator connecting to the local network was just not a thing that we were foreseeing. But now we know that these devices are just going to keep on increasing. So we want to make sure that our system can keep up with the new changes. And of course, the different, the longevity on the enterprise grade products, that's another advantage. The visibility, which is huge during the pandemic, because a lot of consumers did not want to have technicians coming into their house. So the technicians or the integrators being able to view and have this visibility remotely and being able to reset or see what's going on with the network, that was huge, and it has been huge during these times. And also that these systems have been designed for maximum security. So in a nutshell, I mean, this is the backbone, I think, to all of our technologies. And without having this, I think a lot of this amazing products that we offer would not work at the end of the day. So thank you again for having me, and it's great being here.
Well, thanks so much, Vanessa. And yeah, on the networking thing, a lot of the questions. So we're into the Q&A thing. So please unmute yourselves and go ahead and ask any questions that you want. I'm going to echo onto that networking thing because I think a lot of people confuse speed with bandwidth. I'll have clients call me and say, "Oh, I just upgraded to gigabit or some really fast 500 meg or something. They got hot wire, fiber, whatever, and everything's still slow, right?" Well, speed and bandwidth are two different things, and I always sort of go back to the water analogy. If you turned every single sink on in your house, obviously, and turned the sprinklers on and did a load of laundry and ran the dishwasher, obviously you're going to have very poor water flow through your kitchen sink with all those other things on. That's bandwidth. As you start turning things off, then the one remaining sink goes really, really fast. That's speed, right? So it's the same thing with electricity, right? Current flow and voltage are the same thing, as well as network speeds. It's all the same thing. So you would have to increase the bandwidth so that multiple devices have the same speed. That's the difference between, say, business class networking. Why do we pay $1,500 a month for service here at the shop? Well, it's because we got 30 people running PCs, servers, and so on, and they all have to run it at the same speed at the same time. So we need a fat pipe, a lot of bandwidth. I've had clients have bought business class service for their homes for that. And professional networking would be able to divvy up and say, well, all these TVs and other devices, you use ISP number 1, and I'm going to reserve ISP number 2 for the home office or for the school, the home school, that type of a thing. So there are technologies that can divvy that up and do sharing, as well as load balancing across there. One of the other new technologies coming out soon is 5G. You'll hear a lot about 5G. We are now experimenting. We've done our second deployment of an external cell antenna that we can integrate into our Cisco network so that there's a cell network on your data plan that feeds the home office, and then you can use Comcast for the rest of the house. So you have an isolated link in your home office. And so we're testing with that. We're using 4G right now for our tests, but the antennas and stuff will be able to upgrade to 5G in time. So that's just a little plug there on some new technologies. I'm going to share this screen that we had before as maybe something to prompt some Q&A. There's a lot of technologies that go on in a house, and that start from the very beginning before the foundation is poured all the way through add-ons and future proofing that occur years after you move in as your life evolves, and you have kids in school, then you eventually you don't, and you're interested in maybe entertaining, and then you're empty nesters or whatever. But a house will evolve, and the technologies that are in there need to support that evolution. And I've had people ask me, how do you know all these various technologies and all these subsystems for a home? Well, if they're doing it for 20 years, you tend to add on, you learn this, then you learn that, and so on. But what it is having a network of resources around you. So while I may not be the expert in fabrics, let's say, I have a dead part in my brain for that, to be quite honest, I know exactly who to call and to leverage those resources available to us through the CEDIA channel and our individual reps that are in the area to be able to bring expertise in, keep current, and then be able to fall back on them for Q&A on specific technologies or offerings as it relates to a particular project. And all of these people that we've assembled is, I would say a little more than half of our group. There's actually more out there. We've got specialists on power, which we'll be bringing into season 2 with Rosewater Energy with Joe Piccarilli, and we've got experts on some of the outdoor technologies like Structure that will be talking to us as well. But all of that together is what really makes the smart home today. And if you look at all these little icons on there, you can see that there's quite a bit going on in a modern home, and a lot of new stuff coming out every day as well that we want to be prepared for, so that we don't have to rip our houses apart to have the latest convenience or safety or security.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite technology that's helped you through this pandemic? We haven't heard from you.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. I'll take that, Deb. Well, what was interesting for me was the outdoor living. To be honest with you, it is there's the whole music and entertainment part of that, but having another area of the house to go to that. And I got to be honest with you, my life hasn't changed too much because of COVID. I still come to work every day, and I still do what I do. But having the ability to, and I would back up a second here, the outdoor living didn't go in because of COVID. That was a decision we had made months prior, but it finished during COVID, and I was able to enjoy it. It's interesting when you walk outside, you're in another world, and you can hear the birds chirping or whatever. You smell the fresh air. You could turn the music on or not turn the music on, watch a TV or not watch TV, have dinner outside. It's another place to go where it doesn't feel like you're trapped. It really, that was a big deal for us and for my family. I would say that we probably spend every Sunday since it finished mostly outside, either tinkering in the garden or or just hanging out, and that's something that we wouldn't have done before. So I think that would be my number one thing. So what else do we have? Do we have any things in the chat window here? Maybe we should just unmute everybody. I see some Bruce. Hey, Bruce Berwick, I see you're on there. Do you have any questions for the panel? No. Okay. Let's see. I don't have the chat window up right here. Let's see. What do we have here?
Hey Jeff, I'll just chime in maybe to spur some questions. I think we all went into this talking about our current technologies that quite frankly not much of this is new, but I think as we go forward, technology is going to be a bigger role of our lives. I think Deb said, we're going to come out of the pandemic, but what's next? And so you think of other things we've experienced, like 9/11 changed the face of travel forever, right? We haven't had another 9/11, thank God, but our way of interacting with travel has changed. And so I think technology is going to change in how we use the home. People are going to be planned or prepared to work from home more. A lot of companies are going. So, architects and designers should know that, you guys are the go-to for not just the stuff we talked about, but other things like wellness is going to be a bigger deal, touchless automation, all these things are extremely important. And going forward, it's going to be more than just, shades and lighting control and whole house music. It's all these other technologies that are going to come out of this pandemic.
And they're gouging local.
I totally agree with that thought. It is that
they can't produce.
What they say is necessity is the mother of invention. Well, we have a new necessity, right? And I for one hate that term new normal. I think it's kind of like the new better. The leapfrog in technology adoption that we've all experienced during this time period. I've held a lot of virtual meetings even this week where people are designing houses and we don't have to travel, but we're actually being more productive because we can look at the same image, and when they ask a question, I can bring from my library and show something on the screen, and being able to go through that. And I've talked to a number of clients through proposals for their home. They've shared photos with me, where before it was, well, why don't you come over and take a look? Well, it's a lot more productive for them to take a photo and send it, and then we continue talking, rather than delaying it a day or two until we can visit each other and arrange to to make that site visit. So I think that is part of our new better on that as well. Okay. So that adoption of really existing technologies. Who do we have there? We've got somebody. I notice an iPort dock back there.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, and I can see you too.
Okay. You asked did I have any comments. I found it extraordinarily interesting. I found the whole series very interesting. And had I been exposed to that series before building a house, or getting involved in a community that they build a house, and you don't have options to do soundproofing to the level of your course, and insulation to the level of your course, and things like that, I learned an awful lot from it. As you know, and maybe some of your team members know, I'm a little nuts with my technology.
That's probably who.
Okay.
And for some crazy projects, and I absolutely love the new camera that can take the temperature. If you can integrate that into a
that is it's a benefit more product.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Now
that's fantastic.
We have.
So I thought it was a most enjoyable course, and I appreciated the gentleman just talking about the Savant music.
Emerald, you're called.
I wondered how the Savant music tie-in is equal to the AMX tie-in. And of course, what you're talking about, hello Josh, or okay Josh, compared to okay Alexa, or okay Google, or okay Bixby.
No.
My dilemma is always how we tie this in, not using Nest, but using the other existing technologies on AMX.
Yeah, but they look like mahogany or oak.
I'm done.
No, it's green.
It's a color.
It's a color,
Okay.
yeah, it is a color.
That was great to hear, Bruce. That those TV, those little cameras are super simple to find. You can even find handheld ones that are digital to tell your temperature from a few feet away. You don't even have to get close to people. And they're personal.
Yeah, we've attended a number of seminars on thermographic cameras, where they are trying to scan people, while they're still moving. They don't actually stop and do anything. I mean, here at the shop, we've actually set up a computer at the entrance, and when employees come in, they answer a questionnaire, and then they scan their forehead and they put it in. It takes about a minute, maybe 30 seconds, I guess, longer to log in than it does to actually do the test. But the fact that it could be automatic and logged, and then happen just sort of seamlessly, I think that is pretty interesting. I question whether or not the temperature is a false sense of security, though. Like, okay, it's one factor, but it doesn't really tell us that much.
So the next step will be a mood sensor, so you can tell when your spouse or other comes in, or your children come in, the mood they're in.
Oh,
it'll either go red, blue, yellow, green, and you'll know what to expect 2 minutes later.
You better get on that, Jeff. That's a good one.
Yeah, or whether you should just retreat to another room and start playing soft music around the house. Yeah. We used to have mood rings when we were kids. Was that a thing for you guys too? Oh, that's funny. That's a good point. Well, Bruce, thanks for your input. And I know we've talked a lot in the last couple months. We've talked about Rune high resolution audio, which Bruce is actually going to be enhancing his system with a nice Dyne audio Dolby Atmos, coupled with 4K video distribution, an upgrade from his current 1080p video, and then Rune high resolution audio. So that's an upcoming project that we're being prepared for. It'll go in September, just in a very short amount of time. And Bruce also is the very first person in our world that got that new Samsung Terrace TV, that outdoor TV. Super bright. Do you have any feedback on that after using it for a week or so, Bruce?
Absolutely fantastic. Super bright, sitting maybe 12 feet away from a 75-inch. Although I have a motorized awning that comes down 10 feet down on an angle, 20 feet left to right, it does cut out some of the daylight, but even without that, there's no light interference on the screen. So on a 1 to 10, I would give this new Samsung a 10. Very easy to use. We haven't integrated it. We have integrated it into our AMX system, but if we work it on its own remote, we can get through the smart TV 4K for Netflix Prime by using the Samsung remote. I happened to purchase it with the sound bar because my wife said she'd prefer to have our outdoor speakers playing music by the pool or even low background music while we're watching the show on TV. So she wanted to keep it separate as a separate source. So the sound bar that comes as an option with the Samsung Terrace is by no means a 10 compared to Jeff's Magic, but I'd certainly give it a strong 6.5, 7 for outdoor viewing in the living space Jeff describes as outdoor. One of the other beautiful things that I received yesterday from the Samsung Terrace is their outdoor cover, which is the best outdoor cover I've ever seen, with flaps on it, Velcro straps, flaps, room for a sound bar, beautiful, really good looking, and blends in an ambient to everything. So I think the Samsung Terrace, although one flaw it has, major flaw, is you cannot tie Bluetooth into it. So let's say you're on your sound bar with the Samsung, with the sound bar being the main source. You cannot Bluetooth connect a set of rear speakers to make it surround. That's a flaw.
Yeah, you'd have to use standard AV integration to accomplish that. I was impressed that this is the first outdoor TV that actually has apps in it. I'm pretty fond of my Sierra TV. I have a 65-inch. It's very bright. And, you know, we have centralized video, so Roku, Apple TV are on there, so it's not really a big deal not to have it built in. But the fact that you could retrofit, hang it, and get Wi-Fi to it, and now you've got a source and you're not running cables, that's a beautiful thing, you know? That's a nice quick win. And you replace a Sunbright with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had recently purchased a new Sunbright cover after 7 years. And I found that the Samsung cover is with the Sunbright cover for beauty. I give it as a cover, a 6. The Samsung, I give a 9.5. for our design experts to have.
I feel like we should all be holding up signs with our numbers on them.
But I'm talking to you now, and I'm watching you through a Samsung 65 8K indoor in my office. And I'd say from my nose to the screen with Sonos speakers, a Leon custom fit soundbar on it, that your picture quality, I can almost count the hairs on the beards. I can see the makeup, mascara lines, everything so crystal clear that it's almost frightening for my eyes. It plays tricks with your brain. It's so clear.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I'm a Samsung fan. And as Jeff knows, I'm driving him crazy now on a 98-inch 8K.
Yep. Yeah, we've talked a bit on that one. That's a big TV, and it's heavy and it's beautiful because it's 8K. It's very, very expensive.
To replace a 90-inch 7-year-old Sharp 1080p.
Yeah. That's no comparison. Well, good. Thank you for all.
And I am taking donations from all the listeners. I do accept tips and cash for my presentation, which will help me pay for my 8K 98. So Jeff, you can wire the money into Jeff. I take as little as $1, and I'm not too proud to take it.
Well, I'll start a GoFundMe for your for your TV. That's pretty funny. No, we spent a lot of time on the phone these last couple of months designing, basically virtually designing this upgrade. So it's been a real testament to how to evolve a home while you're without actually driving back and forth. I kept pretty good records of your house, and Bruce gives really good, clear feedback on what he's looking for. And he's got his lovely wife I see walking in the background there. She's the art. So I thought maybe she might be interested in that Ketra thing, because a lot of the art we see around that's because of her, right?
I'll give her the credit. Because
there you go. Good deal.
She has magnificent taste.
Well, we're coming right up on our noon mark here, so I guess we should probably wrap it up. Is there any other questions that were coming in the panel? I kind of lost track there while we were chatting. Marcia, did you have anything? Any questions in there? Okay. Looks like we're in good shape. Well, next week I look forward to seeing everybody. We'll be talking. Let's see, what do we got? The art of blending design with technology, and that's with the custom speaker manufacturer Paul from Leon Speakers. And you actually mentioned that you have one of those, so you're familiar with that brand.
Beautiful, looks beautiful.
By the way, you look great, Bruce. I haven't complimented you. The COVID thing and all the exercise you've done, you're an inspiration. I mean,
healthy living at home.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, well, congratulations on that and on your new system. I can't wait to hear your impression of Roon high resolution audio. Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a game changer for you compared to what you have now.
So you know how it works. A buddy of mine happened to say to me, Bruce, did you ever hook up to Tidal Music HD? I said, what the heck is Tidal? And he explained it to me. And then when I was explaining to Jeff that I had Tidal on my cell phone to go bicycle, when I bicycle, I don't wear earbuds. I bicycle for a long time, but I like to hear the music coming out of the speakers and still hear a lot of ambient noise. And then Jeff said, I've got something for you to put in the house this room system with title will rock your socks. So that's how we went down that path. Just from one word of mouth to another, to another, to another. And everything,
Well, then you also
I want to thank the team because everything is very interesting. I hope your other listeners enjoyed Lutron, shades, design, motorized, sound control, everything. I really learned a lot from it. Very interesting.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, all right. I guess that's a wrap. Thank you very much for attending, everybody. And I look forward to speaking with you next Wednesday.